This week in sports, Chicago White Sox manager Tony La Russa made headlines after it came out that he was arrested for drunk driving in February. The 76-year-old skipper blew a .08 and then tried to get out of it by showing the arresting officer his Hall of Fame ring and claiming to be legit. Week 10 in the NFL kicked off Thursday night with a showdown between two of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league. Smack talking Phillip Rivers and the Indianapolis Colts took down Ryan Tannehill's Tennessee Titans. The Colts are now leading the AFC South Division. The AFC East Division leading Buffalo Bills traveled to Arizona on Sunday looking to build on their division lead in an afternoon matchup versus Kyler Murray's Cardinals. With 39 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Josh Allen had the game won after throwing the go-ahead touchdown to Stephon Diggs. But then the unthinkable happened. Kyler Murray threw a Hail Mary into the end zone with just 11 seconds left, and DeAndre Hopkins caught it in triple coverage to deliver the Cardinals the win. Staying in the AFC East, Sunday Night Football saw the New England Patriots, who entered the game as 6.5 underdogs, host the Baltimore Ravens. With the Bills losing, the Pats had a golden opportunity to creep back into the playoff picture, and they capitalized on it. In a blinding rain in Foxborough, the Patriots pulled the upset by hanging on to a one-score lead to beat the Ravens 23-17. Meanwhile, former Patriot Tom Brady continues to prove that he is still every bit as deserving of the GOAT title as he ever was. In a bounce-back game at Carolina, Tom Brady completed 71% of his passes for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns, including one to future Hall of Fame tight end Rob Gronkowski and a 46-23 beatdown of the Panthers. Other notable events around the NFL in Week 10 include the Dolphins have now won 5 in a row. The Steelers are still undefeated after beating the Bengals 36-10. And criminally overpaid Kirk Cousins won his first Monday Night Football matchup, beating a free-falling Chicago Bears team. The Vikings are now red hot at 4-5. The NBA has seen a lot of activity over the past 48 hours, including Chris Paul joining the Phoenix Suns, the Milwaukee Bucks, and New Orleans Pelicans, trading forgettable players and meaningless draft picks. And then lastly, 36-year-old South Carolina native Dustin Bird won the 2020 Masters, finishing at an Augusta record 20 under par. Tiger Woods, meanwhile, well, he finished tied for 38th at 1 under par. And this is the Under 500 podcast. All right. Well, welcome back into the Under 500 podcast. My name's Eric. I'm alongside Aaron. How are you?
Hello, sirs. Hello, everyone. How we doing? I'm doing good on this evening.
Tyler.
What's up, everybody? Doing really
and
good
our
this
first
week. Oh,
and
go
our
ahead.
first guest host, Jacob Ware. What's up, bro?
What is going on, everybody? So excited to be a part of the Under 500 crew, hanging out with 3 legendary sports talkers.
Oh,
Very excited to be
legendary.
able to be part of this.
I like
throwing
it.
out the L word already.
Oh,
All
you
right.
just have to kind of show love when you can.
Jacob, you're cute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's nothing like being cute. So.
All right. So real quick before we get started, I just want to clarify something real quick. Because, you know, I joke and then I kind of look back and realize that some of my jokes just really aren't funny. And one of the ones that bothered me last week was, you know, I just made a joke about my son had to like the Patriots or else he was going to be outside. And I think the truth is that I don't really care who my son likes, because I think what's important is that we, you know, I want to have a really good relationship with him. And I think that sports is as good of a medium to do that as any medium. And I just look forward to, you know, rooting for whatever sports team who we root for as father-son.
Eric, when I heard you make that comment, my thought was that this man's very passionate. That's the first thing that came across my mind. It wasn't that you would really kick your son outside in the cold. It was that this man's really passionate. You know?
That's very true.
But I really appreciate
let's
the
not let him
clarification.
off that easy.
No. He's a dirty, rotten person. He should be punished to the highest degree. Like, just take him outside.
That's the Eric covering his butt segment of the show.
Hey, 2 episodes in, you already have to apologize. He's right to see it.
All right. Well, let's move on from that to Jacob. You are a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. So let me start off by asking you this. What were your expectations going into this season?
Yeah, no, let's talk through that. 2020
Oh, boy.
was a very exciting year. Um, just to be a Dallas Cowboys fan and to see what our offense looked like going into it, very, very high powered. The offensive line was taking a hit. Obviously, losing Travis Frederick is a really, really sad thing because he was a very big centerfold, really no pun intended, of that offensive line. So that was a huge hit, but luckily we had some depth. Linnell Collins was looking really, really good. He was going to transition really well. And then you look at that defense. That defense under the Tampa 2 mindset with the linebackers Vander Esch and Smith running that kind of core. We looked like a really solid defense, and we also have Tevon Diggs, who is coming in to play corner, replacing the departed Byron Jones.
Yeah, I've always thought that what is it, Vander Esch?
Yeah.
Watching him play when I lived in Texas, I thought he was filthy, like
Oh,
filthy good.
He is an extremely great open field tackler. He is just absolutely, he takes a good control, especially running that nickel set. Because Cowboys run that Tampa 2 nickel set defense, and it's very, very good. It allows them to spread out the field the way they need to and also control the run, but also at the same time play a very strong pass defense because our corners are always suspect. But that's why defense is important.
Right.
But he makes up really well in the tackles. So expectations, we were a playoff team. 100%.
Did you think like deep
classic Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Every
No, but-
offseason.
like
This
deep
makes a lot
playoff
of
run
sense.
or like,
I think we were at
acceptable?
least a one playoff win. So here's what I thought. Dak Prescott's coming in here needing to get paid. My boy knew that if he didn't sniff an NFC Championship game, he wasn't getting what he needed. That was the simple scenario. And Dak was playing out of his mind. Playing out of his mind good.
What did you think of the Cowboys pick of D Lamb in the first round?
If you want me to be honest,
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. Best player on the board was him. 100%. No argument about that.
Where did you
But-
think they actually had a need though?
My personal opinion, corner. I think they fulfilled the need later on in the draft, but I honestly think they should have doubled down on it, or offensive line. Jeff Gladney was still there. He's a cornerback out of TCU. He's a very good corner. He plays for Minnesota right now, and he is very, very, very,
Yeah.
very good at tackling. He is extremely great in that Tampa 2 defense. It's very important, not for interceptions, to have a tackling corner, especially in the middle of the field. And I was really looking at him to come in. I was also looking at Patrick Queen. And here's why I said Patrick Queen. I think for us to run an effective
He's nasty.
Yeah, the nasty. He
wicked
was
good.
still available. He's still
so
available. But because we love that stupid Tampa 2 nickel, I think we overlooked the linebacker position, and we could have really rounded out our 4-3 formation with Patrick Queen. And then we could have gave Vander Esch, who was already getting injured a little bit last season, a little bit more rest.
Yeah.
But CeeDee Lamb is a phenomenal pick. It's a phenomenal pick. It just
Well, in
dang it.
hindsight now, it's ironic you're talking about defense because we all know the woes this year. So it's kind of
So-
like you kick yourself in the butt.
So overall, you're happy with that D Lamb pick?
I am. I think it's a very solid pick. Amari Cooper is a great wide receiver. I would
Yes.
almost compare this to the Tampa Bay situation at wide receiver. And that's a big stretch. But listen, CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, you're gonna have to bring
Yeah,
that one home.
it's fine. Okay, I will. Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, both 1,000-yard receivers last year. Both of
Yep.
them. Very good receivers. Michael Gallup really showed up when he was needed. Amari Cooper showed up and played and showed he was reliable. Going into this year, they were both doing the same thing. Michael Gallup kind of took a backseat role, but it was to be expected because you saw Dalton Schultz come out of tight end position starting to emerge a little bit. And then on top of that, CeeDee Lamb came in and was stretching the field in the slot.
At what point did you know that Gallup was going to take a backseat role?
As soon as we drafted CeeDee Lamb.
So when you traded me Gallup in the fantasy football league,
Yeah,
you
I
knew?
remember that trade.
Yeah.
Man.
I knew exactly what I was
thinking.
doing.
I got a good tight end out of that though.
Hey, we were talking in our other draft, and they're like, "Why is Michael Gallup still on the board? Jacob's up the pick." And I was like, "I ain't picking Michael Gallup. Like I know how this is going. Like someone's
Yeah.
gonna have to be a 600-yard receiver on that team.
Jacob.
It's going to be Michael Gallup."
I have a question regarding Zeke. This has been, most people would say that this is a down year for him, and statistically it is. Why is it that you think this has been a slow year for Zeke? Because he's been a monster for the
You're-
past several years.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. And looking at Zeke's stats, I think the most what's the number one stat for a running back? Someone tell me. Just give me an idea of what you think. I want to know your opinion.
Shouldn't it be
What's-
yards per carry?
Yards per carry is up there.
Yards per carry.
Yeah,
I'll
yards
put
per
that up
carry
there.
isn't a very important stat. It really shows how effective your running back is at not only, let's say, his own neck, but like in terms of just progressing the ball. So for me, when you look at Zeke, my man was phenomenal in 2016. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry.
That's a
Wow.
good average.
That's
Anything 5 or above is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
yeah.
Insane. Let's talk through the next couple years. 4.1, 4.7, 4.5, and he's now at a 3.8.
Is
He's
that
3.8
because of
this
it?
year?
It's this year.
Wow.
I would argue that the offensive line
I was just gonna say,
matters.
yeah.
Dallas's foundation of their team was built around their offensive line. They spent the past, I would say, 5. They spent 5 years of first-round draft picks on that offensive line. Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Linnell Collins. They picked offensive lineman after offensive lineman, and they built a foundation that made DeMarco Murray a superstar running back for the 3 years that he was there. It was absolutely phenomenal. Zeke's production is down for a number of reasons. Mike McCarthy does not run a very feasible power set running scheme. He does not do that a lot. Zeke thrives between the tackles, not on the outside. He does not thrive on the outside.
Yeah.
Mix in a broken offensive line.
Are you in or out on Mike McCarthy, by the way?
I was out the moment he got hired. I was like,
Yeah,
Jerry,
that-
do you know what sucks? Is Michael McCarthy showed up, and I know what happened. He sat in that chair, and he said, I got something for you, Mr. Jones. And he grabbed his bag and pulled out a Lombardi and just sat it on the table. And Jones was like, how much? How much? And it's yours.
yeah, that was not a good hire.
It was
It
not.
was not.
Not especially when you look at the coaches that was available, like Lincoln Riley, those kind of people that were on the table who could have taken the job and said that they would only take that one job. But long-term short, it is not long-term short. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
There's a
Zeke's
lot of rumors
production-
around Sean Payton going there too.
Well, that would have blown me away. If Sean Payton left the Saints.
Yeah, why? Yeah, that would. I don't know why he'd
Yeah,
leave the
I-
Saints.
I
I've
have
heard that a
I have a
lot.
theory. I have a theory, but it's just conspiracy. It's tinfoil kind of levels, but it is what it is.
Didn't he start in Dallas? He started in Dallas.
Well,
Sean Payton
like
started.
but it was like he left in greener pastures, obviously. I don't know. I think Sean Payton might show up after Drew Brees retires, but that only determines if Dak Prescott signs on a long-term deal. That's what I'm thinking.
What's our
Yeah,
expiration
and
date?
who knows
on,
what's going to happen with that?
What was that, Tyler?
No. So, all right, I got a question. So we'll definitely get more into this later, but obviously Dak is negotiating deals with the Cowboys, and he refused a $34 million contract.
A very large contract.
Okay, so
Eric's smiling. I
So
see that.
and we'll get more into the numbers and all this later, but I really want to know if they can't land Dak, who do you want to see at quarterback?
Ooh,
Ooh.
good question.
Phenomenal question. It has to be Dak. That's-
no,
but-
that's not how the
come
question
on.
can get answered.
That,
Hey,
I mean,
it
look
should
at
be
look
politician
at the,
answer over
look
here.
look at where they're going to be able to
Goodness.
draft. Do you see anybody
if we
low
do
in the
not
draft?
if we are the first overall pick, and Trevor Lawrence is our guy to pick,
You're not going to be first overall. So
It's not happening.
well, you don't know. The Jets might pull 2 out of their butts. It's at this
they're
point,
the
it's-
Jets.
Come
No.
on. Come on, man.
Joe Flacco look great.
yeah, they're
They're
tanking.
constipated. Nothing's coming out.
That honestly, I was excited to have Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton seemed like a feasible backup. But my man, in the best way I could put this, looked like John Kitna. And
Wow.
John
I
Kitna
hope Andy Dalton hears this one day.
didn't throw picks, but he didn't win games.
He didn't throw for many yards either.
Very safe.
Andy
Would you?
Dalton looks rough.
What about someone like from the trash heap, like if Alex Smith became available, or Tyrod Taylor,
Alex
or
Smith threw for
Cam
390 yards. This
I would
Sunday.
not
It's true.
bring. I would not bring Cam Newton anywhere close. The only other quarterback that I think is a possibility, and it's a long shot, would be Deshaun Watson getting out of Houston. If
I
Deshaun
don't
Watson,
see that happening.
I don't
I can see
either,
him wanting out after
but-
this year.
Oh
this
yeah.
year's been an absolute mess, and Jerry Jones might pay some money, let's say $27 million, to a quarterback who is a little bit less better than Dak, or like might be same as Dak Prescott, but I don't know. Deshaun Watson's a high-level quarterback.
What is the contract that Deshaun just signed? He just signed one of the large. It's behind
Him-
Mahomes.
Yeah,
I
it's
think, but his
second to
thing is
Mahomes.
him getting out of that contract and leaving Houston, because that whole organization is in shambles right now. Even though they're like, I think they're sitting at 3. They just won their third game, right? Am I crazy? I think they
The
just won their third.
Texans.
Yeah, I think they just won their third game.
No, they lost this
Yeah, they
past
lost
weekend.
to the
they
Browns, right?
lost. Yeah, they lost. Yeah, they lost. That's I mean, they're just not a winning football team. They are not like in a good place, and I don't think Deshaun Watson is in that kind of mindset. I would love to see Deshaun Watson, but it has to be Dak. Like, there's no other quarter.
Do
That's
you
how
think that
sold I
they're?
am.
We'll get more.
Yeah,
we have an
we'll get
entire
into this.
segment dedicated to pay.
Yeah.
Pay Dak or
I'm
no?
I'm a huge Cowboys fan. I love talking Cowboys, so I'm excited about it. But I love everything sports related.
I think Deshaun Watson, if I'm reading this right, his cap number is $175 million. His guaranteed salary is $47 million over the next 5
Hey.
years.
No one's taking that contract. I read nig on my statement. I don't want it anymore. No.
Yeah,
See,
I don't think
that's what I'm
wow.
saying. Is like for another team to
that's
get
a
him,
lot
like
of
they
cap
have to
money.
shell out some
Dude.
dough
That's
to
Yeah.
get
insane.
him because
To
his
trade-
contract is huge.
But not only that, the cap penalty the Houston would hit to get rid of him would be absolutely insanity. I don't know. I don't even know what quarterbacks would be hitting the free agency that's even serviceable. Like Sam Darnold? Like, really? Like, is that the quarterback we're talking about
Well,
here?
I
So-
mean, you can't really get a good gauge on Sam Darnold right now because he's playing for the freaking Jets. So
The
I mean,
moment-
Yeah.
you know,
Here's the thing: the moment a quarterback that has any potential sniffs of a remotely fart team is instantly ruins their potential to strive in the NFL.
Oh,
Name a quarterback that hits a bad team and then goes to a great team and does well.
Oh,
Oh.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer was always a good quarterback.
well, he played well with Cincinnati. He had
was-
a couple of like really good years before. He
I mean,
blew
that's
his
as
knee
close
out.
as I can get off the
But
top of my head.
that's
my
how-
point. That's your point. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. The moment a quarterback that has any potential hits a crappy team, that's why Trevor Lawrence should be sweating right now and debating even touching this draft.
Well, that could be a
because
whole other topic to talk about.
it
that
is
whole
Well, I
thing
mean,
right
and
Scary.
it comes down to too. I mean, if Trevor Lawrence gets drafted by the Jets, he could. He's not a senior, is he?
No, he could. He could
stay-
play another year.
He could play another year, and you know what happened with Eli Manning in his draft? He
threw a
gets
fit.
drafted by the Lions
He
and was
did.
like,
Not,
What a
Was it the
boss
Lions?
move.
no, Chargers.
The
It was the Chargers.
"Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And
he
he
was
was like,
like,
I don't want
"That's
to play
not
for the
it."
Chargers.
yeah." And
Easily-
in the draft
easy-
stadium, everybody was booing and like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "I don't want to sign with that team."
Easy to
Um,
confuse those two dirtbag
And you can
teams.
refuse to sign, can't
Forgettable.
you?
Yeah, you
Hey.
can. It's a really bold move.
Let's just skip to this because we talk about cap money and paying and all that. And so I want to know, do you pay Dak Prescott next year? So he's under the I think he's under the franchise tag this year.
Yep.
So
We'll
he's
go
making
into
like
now, okay.
$31 million guaranteed, 30 a little bit more than
Hopping into
$31 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Obviously last year they tried to sign him. At one point they offered him 34 million, and he said something according to the Star Telegraph, something to the effect of, I'm not going to put a ceiling, some sort of ceiling on, I'm not going to do myself down like that or whatever. 30, the number they were giving him would have been more than Ben Roethlisberger, by the way. And he turned that down, got injured. And now, you don't know what he's going to be like, at least for the beginning half of next year. So do you pay him? Or can they put him under the franchise tag one more year? Or
can
do they
tag
have to pay him?
again, but the tag price will be so insane on a second-year quarterback.
Doesn't
that-
it go down though because of COVID? Isn't it going down next year because of COVID, or does it go back up?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I'm understanding. Someone have to double check me, but I'm pretty sure there's a percentage it jumps up if you do a second-year tag. I'm
That could be
almost
true.
because Kirk Cousins got it, and Kirk Cousins got a ridiculous amount of money. Kirk Cousins
He did.
is
He's
a
making bank
walking
right now.
dream. He's the American dream right now. The amount
He's
of money he
making
has
bank
fallen out of his
right now.
pockets, from the franchise tags to the guaranteed money he got. That man's the biggest robbery in sports. But that's another conversation. To pay Dak Prescott. Well, I want to know what you guys think first before I tell you my because you obviously probably know my answer. I'll start with Tyler. Tyler, what do you think?
I have an answer. Oh, you go, Tyler.
All right.
I have my thoughts.
So this was a conversation that me, Eric, and Aaron had in our group chat for this podcast.
Wait, pause for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Kirk Cousins is making $33 million this year.
Insanity.
Sorry, I just had
No,
to
it's
point
okay.
that out.
That's
Okay,
wow.
you go.
So we were having this conversation, and I look at Dak and I see a great quarterback, fantastic quarterback, who on from my perspective was great. And then I'm like, well, this conversation's making me want to look up a little bit more. So I go ahead and I look up the 2016 draft class, and we have. Oh, hold on. Now the whole world's gonna see that stat. I hope I don't get DMCA'd. So,
Well, we're 2 episodes in and we're dead in the water.
So we have the 2016 draft class of franchise quarterbacks, which would be Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, and Jared Goff. They are relatively paid the same exact amount of money, or have been. And their stats.
Well, Jared Goff makes a little less, I think, than either of them. But
okay.
yeah,
It's relatively close.
He makes 22, I think, this year.
Oh, okay. So it is about $10 million less, which is a lot of money. And then you look at their stats, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, these are almost identical. They've been starters for the same amount of time, almost, give or take a few games. Jared Goff has eight more interceptions and 6 less touchdowns. I do not see Dak Prescott on the stat sheet being deserving of more money than those two.
So just to be clear, your answer is no. So you franchise tag him and see what happens next year.
100%.
Okay.
Unless he gets them a Lombardi trophy.
So even if they make it to the NFC Championship game and they're in it, because at that point you're a statistical, coin toss to who's going to end up in the Super Bowl. But you have to have a Lombardi trophy to get paid.
In my opinion, I think either an appearance or a trophy.
The 4th round draft pick, Dak Prescott. Is you're telling me that?
I am.
Okay.
I don't think draft pick is relevant anymore.
I do think you have to take in like completion percentage and stuff, like, because if you look at Dak Prescott's career rating, it's a way higher than Goff's. It's a 97.3 to like an 89 something. So I mean, Dak Prescott has a 97.3 rating, which I think Tom Brady's career rating is around like a 97 or 98.
Did you just? I know you didn't just compare.
No,
Dak
I'm
Prescott
not saying
to Tom Brady.
No,
I'm not seeing the rating here.
He is, but I'm just saying you can't take. I mean, because I think Dak's thrown for like 1,000 more yards and a couple more touchdowns, but his overall quarterback rating's a lot better than Jared Goff's.
Wait, timeout, Aaron. Did you just get delayed?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, you're better now. It got weird there for a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're fine.
So sorry, go ahead. Jacob.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you were going to say.
Well, I don't know what you guys heard and what you didn't hear.
No, I think we heard everything. You're just your
Okay,
lips and
good.
it looked like an anime, like your lips were moving, but they didn't match up with it.
So you go, Jacob.
Okay. Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz. Dak
especially
Prescott
now, yeah.
is better than Jared Goff.
Okay.
They both appeared in Super Bowls. He didn't.
100%.
Well, Carson Wentz didn't.
Carson Wentz didn't win that Super Bowl.
We make stats benefit our narrative.
Jared Goff pretty much took a dump on the 50-yard line in that Super Bowl. So I don't want to hear that. At the end of the day, Dak Prescott has thrown 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in the 2 Super Bowl games he played in. He also has 9 fourth-quarter comebacks for that Dallas Cowboys team in the 4.5 years that he's played. Now, let's also talk about the fact that the boy can throw the ball. Dak Prescott can throw that football. You know what people talked about? That was the fear of him. The first year was like, this guy's going to be a flash in the pan. He can't throw the football. He can't throw it deep. Man, shut up with that kind of logic. All right? He threw for 23 touchdowns and 4 interceptions his very first year. That is outstanding.
He did have a great first year.
Outstanding. And then, of course, sophomore slump happened. But he was still an effective quarterback, leading that team to 9-7. 2018. Okay, go ahead.
So you're just to summarize.
Team
this,
pay Dak. Pay Dak.
So
Team
Aaron,
pay Dak.
Aaron, what do you say?
But your reasoning for paying Dak is he was good.
My
Aaron,
boy
are you also
is
Team Dak?
good.
He was also really good this year too.
He's
Until he
42 and
snapped
27.
his-
42
until
and
he-
27. 42 and
It's a great
27.
record. It's a
I
great
know,
record. So
and I hate to bring up that they haven't been to the Super Bowl or a championship game. I hate to bring it up because it really, honestly, sometimes depends on your defense and it depends on who you're throwing to.
Agree with you.
And
Yep.
if you want to make the case that he hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet because their defense has just been dog, then all right, I can kind of get in line with that. But I don't know, a quarterback at that kind of price tag should be producing more.
I agree.
I understand. I'm not gonna. Russell Wilson, the dude has hardware. All right. Kirk Cousins, the dude shouldn't be paid that much. He ruined the market. Let's be honest. All right. Tired.
Wait,
Ryan,
so hang on, Aaron. I want to hear this. Aaron, where do you sit?
So I think to start off, I think Dak Prescott doesn't get as much respect as I think he should. I think he's a much better quarterback than a lot of people don't want to give him credit for. Now, initially, I was hearing like when this earlier was going on that he turned down like a $27 million offer. I think he should have gotten more than 27. So I was like, well, okay, so why aren't the Cowboys giving him that? Then it came to my attention through Eric that he turned down a $34 million option, which I was like.
To be fair, it was the years that was throwing it all off.
Yeah, it was 5 years versus 4 years, but
that's a big deal.
But at the end of the day, it was Dak getting greedy. That's what it was.
I would argue. Go ahead.
I don't think like 35 and up. Now you're getting into like Russell Wilson and stuff like that, man. And I can't put Dak up there with Russell Wilson money.
You have to think of the player interest there. Dak Prescott just played 4 years for this team on a terrible contract. So he's like, if I can get 4 more years.
Congratulations. Welcome to the NFL where every other rookie contract is terrible.
What?
You go out, you win big, and then you get paid.
Tom Brady, what rookie has become a quarterback? Has become a quarterback and produced the level that Dak Prescott's produced? Name one.
Pat Mahomes. Russell Wilson.
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers,
Roethlisberger.
They did not drop like he did.
That's true. I mean, yeah, they didn't go to the 4th round.
That's my point. This guy wasn't supposed to be the starter.
Okay, so
I don't know if you can use that as a basis to pay someone.
That's such a horrible narrative. You weren't supposed to be a starter. We didn't think you'd be good. So here's a bunch of money. Sorry.
You're right.
Okay.
No, I completely agree.
I am okay with paying him mid-30 millions.
I think 30 is good.
The fact that he refused 34, it blows my mind.
It doesn't because of the 5 years. Dak Prescott wants to play 4 more years there, and if they just don't look like they're going to get it done, he can still get paid well and go somewhere else if he plays a 4-year contract on a 2-year deal.
So here's what I think. I am team don't pay Dak because I think looking at things and like looking up stats, his completion rate is around the same as Kirk Cousins. And I think historically in the league, and there might be exceptions to this.
Mm-hmm.
I think a great exception, obviously like Tom Brady's the greatest exception. The guy constantly didn't take money because he wanted to win more. His thing wasn't getting paid until later in his career.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I want to win more. Whereas someone like Kirk Cousins, I don't really feel like, I think he wanted to win, but he also, like they just want to get paid. I think in that league, there's a very clear order that needs to happen. And I think if teams don't take that order, they get burned just because of the nature of the league, the injuries, how the game works. You have to, as a quarterback, go out there and prove it. Like, and the ruling of, well, there's not a good enough defense, or he didn't have an offensive line. Okay, I get that. I'd have to look it up, but I mean, Peyton Manning was drafted in 1998 and he didn't win one until 2006. So the Colts clearly did the exception there, in my opinion, which is they stuck with a guy, they kept him around, they paid him to stick around.
He won MVPs on the
first round draft.
But that's exactly the point. Is they knew he was going to be good, and he did some great things along the way before he went big. But I think generally speaking, you win big, which I agree with Tyler, is at least a Super Bowl appearance, if not a title. And then you go get paid, because especially that kind of money, I don't think you can put Dak Prescott anywhere near Pat Mahomes. So if he's the top of the top tier, so he's nowhere near Pat Mahomes. Okay, so who's after that? Russell Wilson. Is Dak Prescott should be getting any kind of money like Russell Wilson?
No,
No.
I don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I don't agree.
so who is in front of him? So we definitely have Patrick Mahomes. We definitely have Russell Wilson. We have Tom Brady for a few more years, but the
Aaron
payment on
Rodgers.
that
Few
doesn't
more
work.
years.
Aaron
Few more years,
Rodgers.
dude.
Aaron
I'd
Rodgers is
say
having
more.
a year.
Couple more years, a year or
Yeah.
two. I don't know what he's, we don't know what Brady's going to do. So,
True.
Big Ben's making like 34, 35. He's almost cooked. So I think a good comparison as far as how much he should get paid is right around the Big Ben money. Like Big Ben is this guy that can get red hot and really, really good, but you don't really know what he's going to be because sometimes he throws 5
But
touchdowns and
he's a
500
proven
yards.
winner.
Yeah, so I'm team not pay Dak. I'm team let him be on the franchise tag for one more year, and if he does consistently what he's shown to do, you pay him somewhere around what Big Ben was making, which is 34, 35, mid 30s. He doesn't get anywhere near those high numbers, and then if he goes out and win, the beauty of the NFL is you restructure it and you can give him more money or a contract extension or whatever
Right.
it is you want to keep that guy around because he proved it to you.
100%. Here's the thing. There's 3 scenarios, and this is going to answer all the questions we have about this, and we can move on because Dak Prescott is not.
This is a fascinating.
He's
talk.
not the NFL. All right, he's not the NFL. So the 3 scenarios is this: you can't franchise Dak Prescott. The Cowboys have one of the higher cap spaces going into next year available to spend money, which gives them the freedom to use that franchise tag if they need to. That is a very dangerous game because you essentially say that we're not going to play free agency next year, and we're not going to bring any kind of names to help support Dak. It's all on him.
Yeah, but you can make cap space out of thin air.
But
That's true.
You can restructure or make fake extensions or
all the
whatever you need to
time.
do.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is the king. He's the king of backloading contracts. He really is. I mean, look at Tony Romo. Look what he did to that man.
Yeah.
Dude signed a 6-year, $109 million contract back in 2016. He kept getting backloaded until the dude back went out. And then like, oh, well, now we can't pay you. Weird. Like, he knows what he's doing.
I feel bad for Romo, man.
Hey, well, don't get me started.
Don't feel bad for him. He's killing it.
So
broadcast
you can
booth.
franchise tag him,
Yeah.
and Dak will have to play for what he's worth. That was my hope this year, that Dak Prescott's got to go in there and play what he's worth. And it looked like we could probably win this division. It didn't look pretty, but it looked like we could win this division.
Yeah,
you would have won this
division
division
winnable.
if he
Yeah,
stayed because it
but
sucks.
100%.
We're not even going to contend. It's not even funny how bad it is. Now the next thing you could do is do this: 2-year contract. Hey, Dak, we're going to pay you a 2-year contract, $22 million a year with incentives, heavy incentive loaded, and see where it goes. That's probably less likely because Dak looks to make the big bucks, but it's less expensive than the franchise tag. The third year is this. The third option is, go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I was going to say, and there's the wrench now of the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
how's that going to change things?
I think however Dallas does it, they have to do it to protect themselves from whatever lingering issues might come up from that ankle injury. Because something that breaks that bad, I mean, that's never going to be the same again.
Honestly, the third option all depends on where they land in the draft class. If somehow they do happen to slip to the first overall draft pick, they may let Dak Prescott walk, and some crappy team's going to give him the $35 million that he wants.
Ooh, that
Dak
could
Prescott,
be a topic for us New England Patriots fans to pick up later on.
Hey, Dak Prescott might end up showing up. Some people are going to sit there and pay that money because they look at Dak and they realize what he is worth. And the Cowboys are just like, we have the first overall pick. Why don't we just take Trevor Lawrence? He's just as good. And he's younger and he's cheaper.
That's a good
All
point.
right. So from that, let's keep moving on in the NFL. So this past weekend in the NFL, kind of a crazy weekend. Like it was everything we love about football, right?
Yep.
Like the game's never over. You play all 60 minutes.
Yep.
So you play in all kinds of weather.
Big plays too. Lots of big plays.
Huge plays.
Big plays. So what do we think the biggest play of the week was? I mean, is this even a competition?
Kyler Murray
we
to
all know
Hopkins.
what it
Come
is.
on,
Kyler
man.
Murray turning back the clock. Absolutely. It was beautiful.
Dude,
Man,
that was the most
awesome.
grown man catch I've ever seen in my life.
His
Those
post-game
3
interview
defenders were emasculated.
How do you with 3 people around you jump up and still retain control?
That's just one of the
football?
ones. That's just one of the ones you tip your cap. Oh,
It's
boy.
true. That is true.
That's true.
Hey, DeAndre Hopkins, the best way to put it, he's a grown man, and he was playing in front of little boys right there.
He's so confident, too.
Hey, did you see
in
the
his press
picture?
conferences.
I love the picture that got posted. He called for the ball.
In triple coverage.
In
Yeah.
triple coverage. He was like, my man is, if he's not happy to be out of Houston and getting paid to win, I don't know what makes you happy.
And an
Like-
exciting team too, right?
Yeah.
Like this
Well-
this kind of, you know, building, growing team that's,
Yeah.
you know, not Bill O'Brien, that overrated dirtbag.
Well, Kyler's so fun to watch.
He
I was
is
gonna
fun
say,
to
Even
watch.
even on that throw alone, like the moves he put to get
Oh
outside the pocket,
I mean-
and then throw that. Oh,
The
Amazing.
and the thing that I've noticed about that throw is I've watched it. It just keeps popping up on social media, and I watch it every time because it was so beautiful. If that throw is 3 feet shorter or 3 feet longer, it's intercepted
Yep.
or batted
Yeah.
down. He
Yeah.
had to make. I mean, and just, you know, that is, they call it a Hail Mary for a reason, because you're just throwing it into the air and hoping it gets there. But
Mhm.
to be able to throw it with that accuracy, and with that length, Kyler Murray is a stud. A show. How tall is he?
he's
5'9".
He's 5'10".
5'10".
He is a
just-
Russell Wilson.
Oh, he is going to
Examination
be
to the
something
teeth.
special in the NFL.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
and he's
that much.
faster. He's fast.
He's
That
so
dude's
fast.
quick.
No one's talking about the small mobile quarterback. Like, we're always talking about the tall, lengthy guy like Lamar, or like the big arm like Pat Mahomes. But those small, shifty, mobile, able to actually throw the ball quarterbacks
Accurate.
are really starting to take over.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I'll
know?
take accuracy over, you know, the wow, look at, you could stand in the pocket and chuck it 70 yards. Wee!
Yeah.
Yeah, no. give me 7 yards.
I mean, it just
give me
makes
7 yards to throw.
Other than just like stats and stuff, it makes the game more fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
having a mobile quarterback, that's
Yeah.
been huge these past, you know, what,
Well,
10
New England's
years
starting
now?
to see that a little bit with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
so-
run a
And
lot
it's
more
great. It's a
quarterback
really,
options.
it's a breath of fresh air. Having
is.
a mobile quarterback and being able to root for a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
So
So just
And
Oh,
no,
sorry,
at the
sorry.
beginning
No,
of
go ahead,
this,
Aaron.
at the beginning of this whole thing with the mobile quarterbacks, everybody's like, "Oh, these guys are going to get hurt. This isn't the new way of football. Stop doing it. You're going to get hurt. Going to get hurt." And then you get people like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray in the league who haven't gotten hurt that bad
Yep.
and are just studs, absolutely doing
Total studs.
amazing.
yeah.
How does it make you feel, Tyler, living in Kansas, talking about Pat Mahomes as a stud?
Listen,
are you okay over there?
Listen, I don't like Chiefs fans.
That's fair.
With the exception of my family, my father-in-law, all my in-laws.
Good job couching
I
that.
love
Good job.
I love them to death, and it's okay that they're Chiefs fans. Outside of that, the Chiefs fans around here are just, they see, like I said earlier, ooh, shiny. We're the best team on the planet. Nobody's ever going to beat us. We're the best. And, you know, it's just annoying. But Patrick Mahomes is something special, and I'm totally okay with saying that. And I am
Yeah.
so confident in that.
He is
that
the
doesn't
best
bother me.
quarterback in the NFL right
Oh,
now.
by
I think
far.
he just is. He's thrown one interception this year. Like that's dumb.
It's
People,
crazy.
I love how you said the 7.7 yards per attempt, Eric, because like I think of Captain Cincinnati Roger Staubach, who was one of the most accurate quarterbacks of the 70s, and he averaged 7 yards per attempt.
That's all I want. I want a quarterback that can throw 5-7 yards. You know, when it's third and gotta have it, third and long, and you just know that he's going to get the ball in there to the exact
Mhm.
slot guy. I mean, really, like that's
So
what
Brady.
that's exactly what you want. Like I think Alex Smith has that too. Like all the checkdowns,
does.
they pick
He
on him for
does.
checkdowns because he doesn't chuck the
He's a
ball.
great
Because
Like,
they're
short range
smart.
guy.
who
They're
cares?
smart.
Take
They're
the
smart
smart
quarterbacks.
play. Yeah.
Yep.
Throw it
And they
away.
can hit
Take
deep
the
ball
easy
when they
yards.
need to.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
who? Because
Yeah.
you want to know who's paying for that right now? Lamar Jackson. That man's not a smart quarterback. That
No.
man's pure athleticism on the field. They're just putting the ball in his
But
hands.
He's starting to
So-
learn,
okay,
though.
so-
And there was a few
okay,
plays
so-
in that game on Sunday night where Lamar Jackson he was out of the pocket and he was like, "Oh, look left, nobody there. Look right, nobody there. Oh, got to run," and then he stops and does a little chuck down because the guy was wide open. He's learning.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this is not his year. Whoo-wee.
So good
Sophomore.
transition into the next thing on the docket, which is that the Bills obviously lost in a crazy fashion. I was driving from my house back to where I live, but like my parents' house back to where I live, and I was listening to the pregame of the Patriots, and they were talking about how the Bills were all locked up to win, and then they went, oh, hang on, there's been a touchdown, and so they talk about that, and then the whole narrative changed. So my question is, are you in on the Patriots making the playoffs, or are you out on the Patriots making the playoffs? Based off of the implications that happened this weekend, where the Patriots are right now, what the AFC East looks like. Do you think the Patriots could make the playoffs, squeak in, and do something?
No.
Yeah. Well,
Next
you know,
question.
I don't see it happening. I really don't. But what I would say is, if at the beginning of the year we were all impressed by Cam Newton getting to the 1 yard line against the Seattle Seahawks. And everybody's like, oh, wait a second, is this good? And then he gets COVID, and then he misses a game. We get an early bye week, and then, we can't pick up the pieces after that. And then we almost lose to the Jets, but still Cam had a good game that game. He was an okay game.
He was serviceable. Yeah.
And then he has a great game. And our wide receivers have a great game. Our running backs have a great game against a force in the AFC. And so if they can keep the momentum, I do see them going to a wild card game.
So I see what you're saying there, but I am with Aaron. No. Okay, and here's why. Can you name the 5 people drafted by the Patriots as quarterbacks? 5 people drafted by the Patriots, or I'm sorry, not drafted by the Patriots. A few of them were drafted, but a couple of them they picked up. Like actually, I think all of them.
Like recently, you mean?
Recently,
like in the past couple years?
On the roster right now, the five people that were when they were drafted. That's a better way to say it. When they were drafted, they were quarterbacks.
Oh, Julian Edelman.
Okay.
Jacoby.
No, he was in high school. He wasn't drafted as a quarterback.
Jacoby Myers. Yep.
He wasn't a quarterback in college.
Wasn't he a quarterback in college?
No, he was a quarterback in high school.
In high school, and then they drafted him, or then he went to college, and then they converted him to receiver, I believe.
Okay, well that changes the facts, but it doesn't change my narrative.
Sure,
because that's how we're just going to be. So there are 5 people that have thrown passes for the Patriots this year: Cam Newton, Brian Hoyer, Jarrett Stidham, Julian Edelman, and Jacoby Myers. All 5 of them.
In the friggin' league.
All 5 of them at some point, whether it was college or drafted as, or at some point are or were a quarterback. And one of the things I said when it happened, and Tyler, you shot me down on this, and I said that's true, but then I went back and thought about it. When Jacoby Myers threw that touchdown pass, I said, boy, that's telling about Cam Newton. And Tyler, you said, no, it's not. They did that during the Tom Brady era. And I said, yeah, that's true. But the more I've thought about it, it's not so telling about Cam Newton as it's telling about the situation that is the Patriots passing game. So I heard this stat on the radio pregame, and it's courtesy of Bob Solisi, who does the play-by-play for the Patriots. Did you know in Week 9, when the Patriots faced the Jets, Cam Newton completed 18 passes to undrafted free agents, and it's the first time in the Super Bowl era that a team won when their quarterback completed that many passes to undrafted free agents. So here's my point. They have no freaking pass game. They can't win down the stretch if they can't pass the ball. If you have to come up with trick plays where you get involved a quarterback or a wide receiver that played quarterback in high school to throw a touchdown because you don't trust or you don't know or you're not sure what's going to happen with your quarterback,
dude.
There's
I think
no
you're
way.
going a little far.
They can't pound the rock.
But Jacoby Myers,
Cam Newton threw his 3rd touchdown pass this season.
Oh yeah,
come on.
Come on,
he's
we're gonna
rushed
for
for
like
like 9 touchdowns. Give him a break. He's rushed for 9.
It's because he's a borderline running back.
This is the NFL. You have to throw the ball. It's 3rd and got to have it. You're not going to break out of the run. You're not going to do a jet sweep.
You want to talk Patriots for a second? The Cincinnati Bengals have scored more points than the New England Patriots.
Oh, it's true.
Zach Taylor.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
The Zach Taylor team, who went into this year averaging 17 points per game. Zach Taylor has scored more points than the New England Patriots. It is a lack of firepower on that offensive side of the ball. It is 100%. That.
They have no person throwing the ball and the people catching the ball.
You got a good point, but Jacoby Myers is having 2 really good receiving games in a row.
Great. You have one wide receiver.
Potential.
Double team him. Who do you got next?
All right, my blind support for the Patriots is showing, and I'll stop. You guys, you guys are being realistic, and I get it.
Well, hey, let's go through the remaining schedule real quick. Let's see what they're what 4-5 right now.
Yeah, they got Arizona
Hey,
next
but
week.
don't forget, they do have a
Houston.
division.
No, they got the Texans.
They have a division lead over Miami. So if they could somehow tie Miami in their overall standing, they have the division lead over them right now.
I think that could be the only way.
No, the Dolphins have a 5 and they have a better record than us.
Yeah, but we have the head-to-head. So if we tie them,
oh, and the division record. Okay, I thought
and you have to go down to wild card, they would win it.
Yeah.
Well, we got the Texans next week. They're a dumpster fire.
Is it at Houston?
It's at Houston.
I think we win.
I think that's winnable.
I think we could.
Well, you guys are 1-3.
Arizona.
You're 1-3 on the road.
Yeah,
we've always been a bad road team too.
That's what scares me about this team is like the Texans are a dumpster fire, and there's still doubt in my mind that we could beat them.
That's such a good point.
That's never happened.
You know what's crazy?
The
Texans are 1-3 at home, so it could go either way.
It could go either way.
I think New England takes it.
Okay, I could see it. Cardinals the week after that. I don't think we're beating the Cardinals.
Not even close.
I will give you this much.
I don't think we are.
I heard this on the radio, and I happen to agree. If the Cardinals, it's a 1:00 game, West Coast to East Coast, and if the weather is mediocre, it doesn't have to be bad like last week. I don't think we're ever going to see something like that in a long time. You only get one of those games a year, but the weather is New England, and it's East Coast, West Coast, 1:00. Could the Patriots just kind of bag that one in because they're at home? Like it's possible, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't see it too. I like Kyle Murray, that whole offense.
Yeah, they have too much offense. Too much offense. I don't think they can keep up. Then they have the Chargers, which, I mean, Bill going up against a rookie quarterback, he usually has a good rapport with that. I think they could come away with that. Then they play the Rams. I don't think, not with that defense. I think they would just destroy everything on the Patriots offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Going against the Rams. I don't know what you guys think about that.
The Rams are.
Then we play the Dolphins. You think so?
I think the Rams are a bad team. I think
the defense is nasty.
Are they?
I think their defense is nasty.
So they're a bad
team.
Their
offense has issues.
Are they worse than the Patriots?
No. They're going to beat the Patriots because again,
they beat the
Patriots have one of the worst offenses in the league.
Yeah, and then we play the Dolphins the week after that
at Miami, right?
At Miami, so we'll lose.
I have to wonder if that
stigma rounded out.
I have to wonder if that stigmatism will change once Brady's out, because it was really a Brady thing in Miami. I felt like, just like it was in Denver. Like, was that a Brady?
Well, there was that fluke miracle play a couple of years ago.
Oh my gosh!
Oh god,
that still bothers me to watch this to this day because Gronk
barely run and make a tackle.
Stupid lunk just falling over.
Do you remember the
most unathletic man on that play?
It was hilarious though. It was.
Have you ever heard the local
funny.
broadcast of that? Where there's like 30 seconds of dead air because the two guys, Bob Zossi and Scott Zolak, are just like,
why was Gronk out there?
Because Bill thinks he's smarter than everybody and he's not.
I'm gonna put a big lug to hold his hand up. Like that's what they did. Oh, it was awful. Oh, it was so funny though. Guys, I don't think New England has a shot in the world to make the playoffs this year. But if they could sniff a 6-win season, it tells you that they have potential. I think they do have potential, especially on that defensive side of the ball. Their defense is still good. They don't have a terrible defense.
It's great, especially with the people that have
their
opted
offense
out
is
that
just
going to opt out next year.
I want to get a Winovich jersey. That guy is hilarious.
The real question is, if they fail to secure talent like they have the past couple years, how much longer is Bill Belichick going to sit around?
How much longer is Robert Kraft going to sit around if Bill Belichick fails to get talent?
Does Bill Belichick, is he the one that signs people? I thought he wasn't.
He's the general manager.
He does it.
He makes all the decisions. Robert Kraft isn't going to let that team go down the drain without stepping in and saying, Bill, you either do something or I'm going to do something.
Yeah, they got to bring talent in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Their skill positions are horrendous right now.
So I think Miami takes the wild card.
I could agree with that.
Maybe. Last football thought. It is a big week in the fantasy football league that we are all in. There are serious playoff implications this week. It is me versus me versus Aaron. I am
Ooh,
currently in third place. Aaron, you slid to like seventh place.
it was a
Currently
big
looking
loss. I dropped 2
at the
spots.
playoffs.
Dude, your team
So
took a dump.
I have Wilson, Cook, and like they both crapped the
Dude.
bed.
I saw a huge run Wilson
Oh
Cook
my
made. I went,
gosh.
"Oh, Aaron's about to win this." Holding called back. I went,
Yeah. How
Dude,
about those
like,
3
I
holding
don't know.
calls on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Dude, he
I
had 2 touchdowns.
know.
James Robinson had 2
know.
touchdowns that were called back, and I'm like, I would have won the game. That was the game for me, but they were called back on holdings. There's so many things that went wrong that gave freaking Mike the
Aaron,
win.
I
Maybe
love you.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe Carlos is right. Maybe it's karma for team dumping.
Jacob, you love me, but what?
I love
Say
you.
it.
Eric will win this week. And the
What-
reason why is he has Nick Chubb and he has Todd
I
Gurley, the
know.
touchdown machine.
Nick Chubb is back, and he's
who-
nasty.
Who's
at the
who are
best
the
time
Bucks
because
playing?
David Johnson went out.
The Bucks,
Ugh.
they are playing the Rams though.
Oh,
So it could be that Tom Brady sucks, but Nick Chubb's
Yeah.
playing Philadelphia. Ooh, that's terrible. And then Todd Gurley and the Falcons have a division date with the high-scoring New England not New England Orleans, the New Orleans Saints. So I think Todd Gurley is going to see the ball a lot, and I think you're going to see Nick Chubb do his thing against that Philadelphia defense.
who
Yeah,
does
Nick
who does
Chubb's so
Jacksonville
good.
play?
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
They play Pittsburgh.
Yeah, see, we each
Oh,
got position
no.
players on Jacksonville. I got Clark Jr., who hasn't been doing good,
Screwed.
and you
Aaron,
have Robinson.
dude, I really don't think you're winning this week.
No,
So
I'm
I
not.
think Aaron's pulling the upset. I always think I'm going to lose every week. So
Yeah.
I think Aaron's
I
pulling
need,
the
I
upset.
need Russell to like he was projected 28 and got me 9.
Yeah.
I don't see
Well,
Russell
nine.
not doing bad 2 weeks in a row. I
The
think
difference
he
is
bounces back.
Eric's sitting on one of the hotter pickups on the wide receiver waiver wire, which is in Travis Fulgham. He has been killing it. In
Not
terms
this
of
past
fantasy.
week. He got 1 point.
Yeah, but in terms of overall, come on. He had 31 points like 4 weeks ago. He had 19 and he had 17. Like that's wide receiver 2 numbers. Like those are really
And I
good
got
numbers.
Devontae Adams just chilling there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a touchdown machine.
Ugh, I
Yeah,
love
no.
it.
I think Eric takes this pick, and Aaron, I think you're not looking at the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think I'm out.
Hey, there's 6 teams, so there's a
Yeah, it's
chance.
6
Yeah,
teams.
I'm the
I
sixth
still,
seed.
no, I still think Aaron
You
makes it.
dropped to 6th?
Dude, my team has been sucking.
Dude, I'm so
Oh,
Aaron.
that's-
There's no doubt in my mind you're getting at least number 6 spot in that.
I need Chris Carson to
think so.
play.
No
Chris
way
Carson
you
has
don't
not
get it.
played.
Yeah,
I
there's-
need
I
Chris
hope so.
Carson to play.
There's no possible way Aaron doesn't get that number 6 or number 5 spot.
So with that, let's jump into the
I
NBA.
need to go
Oh
on a
my
run. I need to
gosh.
beat Eric.
The
The
NBA
Jump in
is
the
on
NBA.
fire.
Aaron, let's hear it.
Seriously. I mean, the past freaking 2 days have been monumental. I want to hear because this is the hottest news right now. Let's talk about this James Harden situation that's going on.
Oh,
He
man.
wants out. Like, and some of it it's just surfaced today. I was reading some articles where he wants out because his owner like supports Trump or something like that. And so, which I'm like, all the owners kind of do because they're old
Oh, yeah, they
rich
don't-
white
they
guys.
don't really know.
But
Hey,
that
they'll-
doesn't
it's,
bode
hey,
well.
it's easy for them to hide behind it when they get behind the political agenda of the
Right.
NBA.
Yeah.
But you don't. Yeah.
So
Did you
he
see how much
turned
money
down-
they offered him, though? Oh, go ahead.
He,
Yeah.
he could have made $50 million
Mhm.
with this extension in a year. It would have been the highest ever, and he
And he
turned,
turned
it
it down.
James
He
Harden.
clearly
Go
wants to
somewhere
win.
else.
I don't think he wants to get
Cojones.
paid. I think he wants to win.
He wants a ring. He wants a
Mhm.
chip, and so he's
Hey,
looking.
he wants to go to the
forward
Nets
right now.
as bad as Russell Westbrook wants to go to the Nets. like
Yup.
that's
So what
that's
do
how
you
it
guys
is.
think of that? How do you think that would work? Having all 3 of those guys, having KD, Kyrie, and Harden.
I
on the
saw
same
I
team?
saw a great meme, and it was, how is that going to work? There's only one ball.
Hey,
And I was
no,
like, yo,
My
that's
favorite-
funny, but that is
All dominant
so
ball players.
true.
somebody in NBA 2K21 put all 3 of them on the team, and this is what happened. Kyrie brought the ball up, ran ISO, and he kept dribbling behind his back. He then passed it over to James Harden, who ran ISO, kept driving it about his back. They passed it to KD on the 3-point line. He shot it last second and went in. He's like, that's how it's going to work. That's how that team's going to operate.
Yeah, dude.
know.
That's
It's-
set to implode.
If they can't make it work, and people can't let their egos down, and points,
Yeah. I
it's-
don't-
Aaron, what did you
I-
think of the rumor that went around about Danny Ainge, general manager of your Boston Celtics, looking to wheel and deal and get James Harden over to the Celtics? What did you think of that? Do you even want him? Do you want him as a Celtic?
Oh
It
yeah,
would be-
Kemba Walker?
It would be interesting to see who we'd give up for that. I'd have to see who those players were. I think, to get Harden, you'd have to deal Tatum or Brown. I don't think you
Which
could
one
get
would
out
you
of
want to
keeping
deal?
either. I would deal Brown, and I'd keep Tatum. I think Tatum's got
Jason
like,
Tatum's awesome.
Brown's an athletic freak. I mean,
Yeah.
he is, but Tatum's, I mean, you see him with the ball. He's way more polished as an offensive player, and he's your star. So you need to keep him. So I think I would give up Brown for him. They'd probably have to give up some draft picks.
I think Kemba Walker goes with him.
Oh, that
so?
would be so sad.
I do. I honestly do.
Kemba Walker has
Come on,
all
it's
the
James
pieces.
Harden.
He
You're
really hasn't
100%
worked
right.
out though for the Celtics though. He's his injury, right? He's got like a weird knee thing.
Well, he did great in the regular season,
And then the playoffs came,
he
and
did
was
great
like,
in the first round of the playoffs. He was phenomenal, and
Yeah.
then he hit all. I mean, he evaporated.
he was so bad versus
Yeah,
the
but
Heat.
look at that
just
team.
disappeared.
That Celtics team was struggling as a whole. Like it put him in a bad spot.
But I think that a part of their struggle was he had a couple games where he had like 6 points.
Yeah.
8
Yeah, he
points.
ghosted.
Like he did
Yeah.
nothing.
I
And
think
he was averaging like 17, 18.
He
I
was
think
a
the Celtics-
huge disappointment in FanDuel. I'll tell
Kemba
you
Walker's
that
always
much.
been a great. I'm a huge Hornets fan. If you guys don't know this, it's sad, but I'm a huge Hornets fan.
Really?
Yeah, I have a Kemba Walker's jersey.
You know, I respect that.
Yeah, I love the
yeah.
Hornets.
Respect.
So losing Kemba Walker was really sad.
Yeah,
Very, very sad. I was there. Michael Kidd Gilchrist was drafted. I thought we just hit the jackpot. Little I know, all the dude can do is just stand there. But
I'm good at standing.
yeah, when Kemba Walker went to the Celtics, I sat there and was like, that's a great pickup, but he is not a superstar. He is a star. He is a
Right.
good basketball player.
Right.
A basketball player who can score. Give him James Harden, a superstar, and he gets to play the support role that he can really play well at, the number 2 guy. You got a deadly team right there.
Oh no, I
Deadly
think
team.
if they can work it so that Kemba could stay. I mean, Brown. Hopefully, it would be Brown. Like if they send Tatum, I think it's stupid. I don't think that's the smart move.
But I do agree with what Tyler said. It's James Harden.
It's
That's true.
come on.
who has led the league in scoring for how many years in a row
Yeah.
now?
So true.
Like
That's
3 seasons.
that
I
step
think.
back jumper. Ooh, baby.
Dude, but can we talk about Kemba's like driving, like pullback move that he stops on a dime? Like how fast that is.
That's
like,
what I mean. Those
holy
two, and Kemba Walker has no issue dishing the ball. The dude is an assist machine. He has no problem dishing it.
No, he's a great facilitator.
Yeah, so I think
He
James
is.
Harden fit well there. I think the issue you have is Russell Westbrook. They both went out of Houston. They
Yeah, what does that communicate? They all want it out.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
how
I mean,
bad that
I
organization
don't know
is
how
right now.
much of it. I don't know how much of it was because of D'Antoni though. Because his small balls, he lived and died by the small ball system.
Mhm.
And when they got to the playoffs, all the small ball that was working in the regular season kind of hit a wall, and they weren't able to do anything. And I think Harden and Westbrook were like, "Screw this." Now, granted, D'Antoni's gone, but I just think they're like, "We're not winning." They know, and we all know, Houston's not winning anything anytime soon.
Right.
And so they're just like, we need to go to a team. Each of them, like, we need to go somewhere with star players to give us our best chance to win a chip because they're getting older. They're in their 30s now.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking for.
Hey, Westbrook either better suck up his pride and go to LA, play with the Lakers, or my man needs to sit on the team with the Utah Jazz and just be the only dude that can score. Because
This is why I can't stand the NBA. Like I like it. I like watching basketball. I legitimately like basketball, but like it's so predictable. Okay, so like they're all going to team, especially now. Like they all team up, and then you just know. Oh, look at they made it into the playoffs. Oh, that don't matter.
But
It's going to be
look at
Lakers, and then some team out of the East.
Look at the
you know,
Nuggets.
Nets, and then
the Nuggets competed, and
They gave the
would
Lakers
they have been?
Jamal
they have
Murray
trouble?
he went God mode.
I think Eric, I agree with you. I think
Would they have been competitive if it was home court away court? Because that's a thing in that league.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
I
agree with you. I agree with your statement. I think it's.
I like the
difficult.
team ups. I like it. I think it's cool.
I don't mind it, but I think what LeBron, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade did break the NBA mold completely.
Now, do you think but what about what the Celtics did before that?
Well,
That
yeah.
was kind of like one of the first
one?
ones.
It was
yeah.
iconic.
They kind of started it.
Okay,
They
I'll
kinda
give-
started. I'd
sorry,
love it so long
the
as we
Celtics
continue to win.
started it. You're fine. You can have it. I'll give you the Celtics. It's okay.
It's just the Heat had the bigger names when they
did have
it.
the bigger name. Kevin
Right.
Garnett's a pretty big name though.
Mm.
Just saying.
Yeah. But Ray Allen at that point when the Celtics did it wasn't
the
He
star
wasn't
that he
the
was.
perennial all-star like when
Yeah.
he was younger, and Pierce was a little older too, but
No.
it still
I
was
think
the first one.
James Harden and Kyrie is definitely going to be the biggest names, and that Nets team has so much potential, but my goodness, it looks toxic. It looks
Man, I
so
want to see it
toxic.
happen just because I want to see it implode. I want to see
It
Kyrie
looks-
get to a mic.
It looks
and
like
talk
Tampa
about
Bay brewing
the-
something, but it could go either way. You know,
It's Kyrie's the factor because you don't know what you're gonna get with Kyrie.
Yeah.
that
That
dude is
guy's a
insane.
head case.
Yeah, he's
like
nuts.
He
Hey,
said
he-
F
phenomenal
Thanksgiving.
talent.
Hey,
Who doesn't
Crazy.
like Thanksgiving?
he's the best point guard in the league.
Ooh, bold take.
He is the best point guard. in
Oh,
the league.
Aaron disagrees.
Best point guard in the league.
I defer my opinion to
in
Aaron.
terms of
Healthy,
pure,
healthy Steph Curry.
yeah,
You take him over a
Ooh.
healthy Steph.
yeah,
Ooh, that's
just
a bold
because
take.
of his handles.
I think
Just-
Steph. So if Kyrie's like 1A, I'd put Steph at like 1B. But Steph is 10 times the shooter.
He is 10 times the shoot, but Kyrie's 20 times the driver, and in terms of just handling the ball too. Now, in terms of point guards and passing, they both could go either way. That's the thing that separates them. And I think Kyrie's a better defender than Steph Curry.
They both are not great. They're both horrible.
Yeah, they're not great, but I think Kyrie's better.
Neither can play defense
So-
or
Well,
Harden.
NBA offseason's insane. It's been nuts.
What were you saying, Tyler?
I just do. I mean, do we have anything else on the NBA that we think?
I think next
Well-
week we'll have a lot more to talk about with the
Yeah,
NBA.
this
Well, I
is-
mean,
a lot of it's
then
up
there's
in
the
the air.
Hayward stuff
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants
in
out.
the NBA. I mean, because Hayward wants to go, which I kind of don't blame him. Because when he signed, he was looking to be the top dog. Because Kyrie wasn't even here yet when he signed.
Yeah.
And now he's the fourth option. on
But
the
does he
team, which-
deserve to be the top dog?
No,
I mean,
he doesn't.
That's
I
the
mean, granted,
No,
the
but I don't-
injury screwed him. But even since coming back,
Hey,
it's
send him
been-
to Charlotte. Charlotte will take him. Come on,
Yeah,
bring him on
I don't
by.
blame him for
I
wanting
don't
to
blame
leave.
him for wanting to leave.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. If he wants to
liked
go,
him.
go.
yeah,
I could
No
get
one-
behind him, but I don't blame him for wanting to leave. I get that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
and I
Paul
just-
went to the Suns.
Yeah.
Which he's turned into a journeyman.
Oh, he is.
in the
Yeah,
latter
he's
stages of his
Iguodala.
career. He's just going everywhere. But every team he goes on, he gets them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like he's
Yeah.
a winner. He'll never win a ring,
No.
but I mean, wherever he goes, the Suns, I don't. It's a long shot for them to make the playoffs. They're
I
just
know
not a good team.
he
but-
wants to be
So-
in Portland or LA with LeBron. I know that's
So
what
I
Chris Paul wants.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think we'll have a lot more to talk about with the NBA next week for sure, because I
Yeah.
think it's going to get juicy this week. Let's wrap up with this, Tyler. I know you want to talk about the Masters, and I like golf, but I don't follow it that
Oh,
much.
I-
So,
I
Tyler,
love-
tell us about
Just-
the Masters.
I know. I mean,
I love golf.
I do too. The Masters. Also, correction, Eric, you totally butchered the name in the intro. His name is Dustin Johnson.
And
What did
know
I
he-
say?
Dustin
Dustin-
Bird.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is, but
Oh gosh, that's a
didn't
guy I
catch
know
that.
in
I just
Texas. He's gonna
smiled.
think
Hey,
I don't
Dustin
really know.
Johnson is a phenomenal golfer. by
oh,
the
so
way.
Dustin Johnson wins the green jacket this past Sunday with the lowest score in Masters history at 20 under par, which is
That's impressive.
insane on Augusta, the hardest
Oh.
golf course in the whole tour.
And he made it look easy.
Oh man, and given the pin location and stuff like that on Augusta this
Yeah.
year was so different than what it has
Forgiving.
been, very forgiving. So yeah, he gets 20 under, which is unheard of for the Masters, and he's 30 something years old, and he's a golfer. He's been a golfer his whole life, and he gets to play the Masters in the same year as Tiger Woods. Okay, and then gets given the green jacket by Tiger Woods. And if
That's
that's
pretty
not
cool.
any young golfer's dream, I don't know
Yeah.
what your dream is. That is
Mm.
outstanding. I got a little emotional watching it because I am
Oh.
a sucker for Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is insanely good and just has been, like I said, a constant in my life. I've always been a
Yeah.
golf fan. And so I just thought it was very impressive by Dustin Johnson. That performance
I'm still
was
on the fact that I
insane.
called him Dustin Bird. That's so
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
And
I-
another
I-
thing,
I laughed.
if you've seen the post match interview that he did, somebody said you chipped out from 15 and you hold eagle from 30. how does that feel? And he goes, just another day on the golf course. It's like, what do you mean? This is the Masters. You're going for the green jacket on Augusta, and you do those two things, which doesn't happen every year, and you win it at 20 under, and you're like, yeah, whatever, just another day on the golf course. The guy
you can only
is a
wear the
stud.
green jacket at Augusta, right?
Right.
Like you can't take it off the course.
Right.
Now, do you get to keep it forever? Like anybody that has one gets to keep it, or is it like every year the green jacket passes on?
No, that's your jacket. They make you get a jacket, and then So, go ahead, Jacob.
No, I was just gonna say, like, dude, like Dustin Johnson, it was a big deal, Tyler. I think you really echoed it, especially because Tiger Woods made the cut. At least he made the cut. You know what I mean? And he was able to be there because some people like Jason Day should have made the cut, and the dude just sucked. He got cut, which is crazy to me because he's actually a really good golfer. But I thought honestly a crime was Cameron Smith played phenomenal, and he came in second, and he shot five. He was 5 strokes away from Johnson,
which is insane for the Masters.
Cameron Smith played one of the better rounds in the Masters, and I agree with you. Pin location played a huge role. Yeah. But to say like, man, that's insane. Like Dustin Johnson played that much better.
It is, and it speaks volumes to that guy's skill. So, just really, really quick, we talked a little bit about Tiger Woods. We talked a little bit about Stephen Curry. Tom Brady's been brought up. Jacob, I am dying to know who is your Mount Rushmore of sports figures.
Tyler.
Good job, Tyler. I thought about asking that too.
Good job.
What I saw. So you guys on social media, if you guys haven't followed them on social media, go follow them on Instagram. I believe you guys have a Twitter as well. Do you guys have a Twitter?
Not yet.
Are you guys there?
Do we have a Twitter?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
We will.
No Twitter.
Not a grown man yet.
And before we get into this, hold on. I just want to recant everyone I said last week. I will at some point come up with a better Mount Rushmore. But go ahead, Jacob.
Okay, that's so funny to me.
And I take the blame for that because I asked you not knowing that. Like you didn't.
I was so caught off guard. We had a little bit of typical last week.
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't.
So that's off the top of the head.
I think it's more than fair though. All right, I'm gonna it's bold time.
Okay.
All right, let's just start off. All right, deserving. Already, he absolutely deserves it because he completely changed his sport. Is Tom Brady.
Oh, thank God.
Tom Brady is on the Mount Rushmore. I hate him.
Tyler's face.
He's an arrogant douchebag. I hate him. But he is a Mount Rushmore of sports. Kiss the rings.
Kiss the rings.
Kiss the rings.
He's a believer.
I am a believer. On top of that, let's keep going down. Absolutely one of the best, or considered one of the best basketball players of all time would be Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would definitely be on the Mount Rushmore.
Thank God you put him and not LeBron James. I was worried about that.
Well, Michael Jordan is a phenomenal basketball player. One of the best. Watching the documentary, the things he did, just clapping all the way around. The other one I cannot, and the only reason I say this now because I have a huge appreciation because when I first met my friends, I didn't know who this guy was. And then they made fun of me for it, and I had to look it up, and I watched some of the stuff he did, and I was just like, wow, I'm a moron. Wayne Gretzky. Throw him up
we're
there.
3 for 4 right now.
All right, Wayne Gretzky
on our picks
is absolutely phenomenal. Now, people who miss the mark. There's 2 people I have to say that is going to miss the mark here. All right, and I have to say it because I'm going to feel bad if I don't give them the credit that they deserve. The first one's going to be is Wilt Chamberlain. All right, Wilt Chamberlain is a phenomenal, great basketball player. The man scores unlike any other person. 100-point games.
Yeah, he had 2 years where he averaged over 50 a game.
Yeah.
Come on.
And 20 rebounds.
The era in basketball he lived in is never going to be talked about ever because it's just such a weird era.
Yeah.
But the man was a man among toddlers in basketball.
Played against 5'10" white guys who bagged groceries.
Yep, 100%. 100%. The 2 other people real quick is Tiger Woods. I can't include him, but he is a very big figure. And the other one's just my personal favorite is Tim Tebow. In terms of college football, what he did in the amount of years he played, amazing. What a thrill to watch that man play.
And every Christian says amen.
But my final head
Chick-fil-A.
on the Mount Rushmore is my man LeBron James. That dude is a baller, and I have to include him. He is a winner. He has absolutely inspired a generation in terms of just playing basketball like a man.
So
And
two
not just
basketball
shooting
people, no
3-pointers.
baseball. So no
baseball.
Babe Ruth or
Come on,
Roger
No.
Clemens
Ohio guy's not going to put Pete Rose in there.
or
Nope.
Cy Young
Pete
or
Rose
Pete
cheated. I'm just
Rose.
kidding. He
Okay,
didn't
so
cheat.
none of that. There's no
I
Muhammad Ali. Tiger Woods doesn't make
Nope.
it. It's just honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Yep.
Just
I think honestly, here's why I said that.
Roger Staubach,
I love
Rebecca
Terry
Lobo.
Bradshaw,
Look,
Serena Williams, who won a title while pregnant. No,
Hey.
we're gonna go LeBron James. Okay.
Look at this. I have a signed football by Roger Staubach. All right. I love Roger Staubach, but LeBron James, all right, is a freak of nature. And we get to watch him. It's like, you get to appreciate things.
Yeah.
Like, I get to appreciate Michael Jordan because I hear about stories about him growing up. And I went back
You
and watched
lived
him.
LeBron.
I lived through LeBron. I
Right.
am living through Tom Brady. Dang it, I'm living through Tom Brady. But I lived through Tom Brady. The people of baseball old, I wasn't there for. And I'll tell you right now, baseball now sucks. So
yeah.
I can't include them.
Yeah, I
Yep.
agree. Hey, Jacob, one more question, and then I think we'll be done. So we all went to college together, and well, I don't know if we were all in college at the same time, but we all went to the same college, and
We did.
there's a lot of famous stories that percolate about each one of us. Some good, some bad, some a little questionable, some make us kind of sweat a little. So there's just several about you, just like there's several about me. And Aaron, I think you and Tyler have probably less than me and Jacob, but there is one story about each of us. There was a moment where we used to play a lot of sports, and you famously picked off me by bouncing it off, I think, your freaking back
Legendary.
ankle, which was legendary. But there's this other moment that happened that I would like you to recant for me, or maybe not recant, but just rehash. It was in the gym. We were playing dodgeball.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was refereeing dodgeball because we implemented referees because there was too many people that would cheat. And we would take turns. You would take one person from each team, and then you'd call that whole thing. That was when we, as SGA, had done that. We implemented that. And I watched a ball hit you, and you did not have possession of it, and it fell and touched the ground, which meant that you were out.
Yeah.
And you had this huge argument, like legendary, like storming the umpire argument. So Jacob, what possessed you to say that ball was not out?
Let me tell you this, all right? If
Sounds like Among Us.
If you're a coach on a team, all right, and it's 4th and 1, and you think you got the first down, you're going to make the argument.
Everybody's pointing first down.
Everybody's
So
going like this, you're going to make the
so
argument.
were you out? Do you know you were out?
I don't know if the ball hit me. I didn't feel it. All right? Say, when I don't feel it and no one else is calling me out but you, I'm making the argument. I'm sitting here telling them to pull up the video in the camera in this corner. I'm like, there's a camera up there. Go pull it up. Like,
There wasn't a camera up there.
Like,
it was just my word versus yours. And
and
you
I'm
were
sitting here
out.
like, this is stupid.
Sus,
Like,
Jacob.
Hey, the dumbest thing we've ever done. I'm getting called out. Of course, I'm like one of the fatter people on the court, and I'm sitting. Of course, it's easy to hit me. I'm a
no
giant
skinny
target.
guy either.
Yeah, no, I agree. But at the end of the day, it's like I ain't gonna feel no ball hitting the side of me. I'm gonna argue. I'm competitive. I'm a competitive person to a T.
So you still don't think that ball hit you?
Oh, 100%. I didn't feel it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
you're wrong and I'm right, and I know this to the day. All right.
We will live by our opinions until we die. But I think on that note, we need to wrap up. Aaron?
Yes, we do. Yes. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another episode, for episode 2 of Under 500. We're glad that we can hopefully make you laugh and give you some sort of sports knowledge. Just to let you know, we are live on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is search in Under 500. That is decimal point and then the numbers 500 right afterwards, just so you can find it. Do not try spelling it out. You will not find it. But you can please look us up, subscribe, let your friends know about this if they're into sports, and also follow us on Instagram, again, at the Under 500 podcast. You can look us up where we'll post extra content on things we talked about during the week, and other topics as they develop as well. So we want you to be included in that. So give us a follow. And we have a YouTube channel so you can see what we look like, which may or may not be a good thing.
There's a lot of compare and contrast on that.
You can see our dumb facial expressions.
It's November. None of us have shaved. Just telling you now.
I'll never shave again.
Yeah, so check us out on YouTube. Again, look us up Under 500, and you can see our smiling faces if you want to. So yeah, just give us a follow, help us out so we can get sponsors and start making some money. On that note, we are out of here. See you guys. If you guys want to bid your adieu to the listeners.
Yeah. See you
Jacob,
guys.
it was great to have you.
Jacob, thanks for coming on, man. That was
Thank you
awesome.
so much for inviting me. I'm sorry if I got too passionate today.
No,
Oh, no,
we
it's
love
perfect.
it.
We're
We
all
love it.
about passion.
I
All right,
appreciate
guys.
you guys.
Have a good
good
week,
week.
everybody.
See you. Boy.